business will go through three phases. There's vision, patience, and execution. This is all about having great leaders who can drive agile innovation and agile decision-making. Great companies with the way they work, first start with great leaders. No. One thing is that life is just not as interrupt-driven as when you're running a company. I want to express my deepest condolences at the passing of Steve Jobs, one of the founders of our industry and a true visionary. My heart goes out to his family, everyone at Apple and everyone who has been touched by his work. You get some success. You run into some walls. It's how tenacious you are, how irrepressible, how ultimately optimistic and tenacious you are about it that will determine your success. There's no chance that the iPhone is going to get any significant market share. No chance. We're going to think big, we're going to bet big. It's how tenacious you are that will determine your success. Maybe I'm an emblem of an old era, and I have to move on. My wife spent a lot of time on what we do from a civic contribution giving perspective. For a number of years, I've really joined her in that. We're focused on issues in the United States, particularly issues with people who have been trapped in neighborhoods in what I might call intergenerational poverty. The way I do things, I usually always prefer to have a very clear strategy and be very focused. At the same time to be very rock solid and crisp in execution. There's a huge crowd out there that basically will go nuts recommending to every coach on the planet, "Hey, coach, I've been playing with the analytics. I think you should do X, Y, and Z." Only our company and a handful of others are poised to write the future. Computer science is the operating system for all innovation. I don't really know that anybody's proven that a random collection of people doing their own thing actually creates value. Getting the big things right that make all the money, that's long cycle. Really executing in a way that allows you to do it, that's short cycle. I want people to understand the amazing, positive way our software can make leisure time more enjoyable, and work and businesses more successful. When you're running a company, you have employees, lots of them, that can interrupt your schedule. You have customers that can interrupt your schedule. You have a certain obligation to wave the flag because people expect to get out and wave the flag. The number of ways that others can command your time is high. At this stage, I get to pick and choose a little more. Not that there aren't some things that have to be done, but I get a little more control over my time. I think good ideas are usually better done quickly than slowly. $500. Fully subsidized. With a plan. I said that is the most expensive phone in the world. And it doesn't appeal to business customers because it doesn't have a keyboard. Which makes it not a very good email machine. I'd like to own Microsoft shares until I either give something to charity or I die. There is such an overvaluation of technology stocks that it is absurd. I would include our stock in that category. It is bad for the long-term worth of the economy. I would love to see all open-source innovation happen on top of Windows. At Microsoft, we're investing heavily in security because we want customers to be able to trust their computing experiences, so they can realize the full benefits of the interconnected world we live in. I'd rather use Windows and Internet Explorer in hell than I'd use Linux and Mozilla Firefox in heaven. This is a great opportunity for Don, and I wish him success. I am incredibly proud of the work and vision culminating in Xbox One. I'm particularly excited about how Xbox pushes forward our devices and services transformation by bringing together the best of Microsoft. I didn't leave business school to go bankrupt. The Internet was designed for the PC. The Internet is not designed for the iPhone. You can have an Apple in the phone business, or a RIM, and they can do very well, but when one 3 billion phones a year are all smart. The software that's gonna be most popular in those phones is gonna be software that's sold by somebody who doesn't make their own phones. Most people still steal music. Developers, 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 developers. As a global company, our future growth and success requires that we constantly look at ways to improve our ability to serve customers worldwide. What we've gone through in the last several years has caused some people to question, can we trust Microsoft? Everyone likes to differentiate between business and consumers, but I don't see the difference really. Most people are people. I get personal and business mail and I have one set of contacts from my life. I don't want to manage two sets. I want one view of my world. I think the biggest mistake most people make when they pick their first job is they don't worry enough about whether they'll love the work, and they worry more about whether it's good experience. We're going to try to do more to communicate the value of activation to customers in addition to making the process simpler and more consistent. Whatever device you use, Windows will be there. Windows will be everywhere on every device without compromise. Analytics only goes so far. Basketball, more than baseball, for example, is really a team sport. Ford shared this vision. We are inviting more players to join in. Since I'm not a seller of the stock, I don't really care what it is today. I don't think anyone has done a tablet product that I see customers wanting. It's always great when you get a lot of people pushing themselves to do better, be better, invent better, better serve, better lead customers in new directions. Our goal in making these changes is to enable Microsoft to achieve greater agility in managing the incredible growth ahead and executing our software-based services strategy. Developers, developers, developers. All the consumer market mojo is with Apple and to a lesser extent BlackBerry. And yet, the real market momentum with operators and the real market momentum with device manufacturers seems to primarily be with Windows Mobile and Android. I'm going to FNG bury that guy. I have done it before, and I will do it again. I'm going to FNG kill Google. The lifeblood of our business is that RD spend. There's nothing that flows through a pipe or down a wire or anything else. We have to continuously create new innovation that lets people do something they didn't think they could do the day before. Our industry is going through quite a wave of innovation and it's being powered by a phenomenon which is referred to as the cloud. Accessible design is good design. It benefits people who don't have disabilities as well as people who do. Accessibility is all about removing barriers and providing the benefits of technology for everyone. Any idea that turns out to be truly great can be harvested for tens of years. On the other hand, if you want to continue to be great, you've got to bet on new things, big, bold bets. We're very focused in on outcomes for government with respect to the amount of tax that goes in and the amount of expenditures that go out. Eventually the internet will be accessed by PC, television, and wireless devices. You don't need to be a computer scientist to use a Windows phone. I think you do to use an Android phone. I'm going to FNG kill Google. At Microsoft I had many years of experience and history and seeing connections. With my direct reports, the job at Microsoft was to delegate and then be able to properly review, but not to micromanage. To have a way of connecting and integrating without getting in the way. The world is changing, but so is Microsoft. I have 4 words for you. I love this company, yeah. Throughout our history, Microsoft has won by making big, bold bets. I believe that now is not the time to scale back the scope of our ambition or the scale of our investment. While our opportunities are greater than ever, we also face new competitors, faster moving markets, and new customer demands. If the CEO doesn't see the playing field, nobody else can. The team may need to see it too, but the CEO really needs to be able to see the entire competitive space. Make hiring a top priority. Not only because the product wasn't a great product, but remember it took us 5 or 6 years to ship it. Then we had to sort of fix it. That was what I might call Windows 7. The one thing that I think separates Microsoft from a lot of other people is we make bold bets. We're persistent about them, but we make them. A lot of people won't make a bold bet.